Hello guys, welcome to the stream. This is the first stream of NEOTOKYO. Today we're going to talk about 3 classes. So it's Rogue, Gunner and Hacker. The 3 of them are pretty different and we're giving different approaches to them. And yeah, we will start in a few minutes. Okay guys, so let's finally start again. Hello, welcome to the stream. And let's start about talking the 3 classes that we implemented on NEOTOKYO. Let's go. Welcome to the stream everyone. If you are new, please subscribe us if you want any news about the upcoming Cyberpunk RPG NEO TOKYO. And today we're going to talk about the 3 classes and also the story that the game covers. So we're going to talk about a few things. Not everything is final, so please, the final product will probably be subject to change. So yeah, don't take anything as final. So we're going to start talk about the main character. And let me just turn this off. So the main character is Faith. Faith will be our female protagonist, and that female protagonist will be placed in Tokyo, and she will have to fight her way throughout the districts, allowing her to discover her identity. So basically she starts at an enterprise called NEO, and then throughout the game she will be basically fighting against robots, fighting against corporation. In this case it's the enterprise called NEO, and she will be fighting throughout the Tokyo districts to find her identity, and let's hope in the final that she can uncover identity. So we have an initial design of her that we basically wanted to give her, wanted to give her a proper Chinese look, let's say. So we thought Chinese, I mean Tokyo is Japanese, but so let's talk about Asian culture, and let's incorporate kimonos, let's incorporate katanas. So everything basically starts from the Asian culture, and let's put it together to give a proper, let's say, setting to the character. So she can fit on the city, and likely that we couldn't say, oh, maybe this doesn't fit here, or maybe basically she's not appropriate because she's not Japanese and why she's in Tokyo. So because we wanted to give a proper backstory, we find it easier to make an Asian protagonist. So yeah, that's why we approached on the Japanese protagonist and also female. So what we thought, it was more like so when basically girls are, let's say, working. Let's give a proper transition to the past. When they are working or when they are fighting, they are always with let's say with the hair let's say with the hair cut. So we didn't want her to be the normal hair that we see. So we wanted kind of to give her a proper combat style and also a visual that it basically just says, oh yeah, she's fighting and she's not a proper person from the city. So she's not just anyone, she's the main character of the game. And we also just approach from basically just doing an initial sketch and just saying like we want this to be Asian and we want them to be katanas. We want to give kind of a fit and also a backstory, because we couldn't basically have a proper character if we don't give him a proper backstory and also maybe something that can attach the player to the character that we are seeing. So yeah, we basically started that. Yeah, strong personality, exactly. So basically we translated to this one. So this was probably going to be the initial sketch of the role class, and I can show you also the gunner class more up front on the stream. But yeah, let's talk about a little bit about the classes. And for the classes, I can basically say that the classes are divided by 3. So 3 classes. It will be a rogue, gunner, and hacker. And rogue will be a melee class. And with that class you can have combos, you can have finishers, and will be a more straightforward class. So you will be able to go straight forward to the enemies. You'll be able not so a stealth approach. So you basically just go straight forward to the enemies and you're gonna slash the enemies. And then you have gunner. Gunner will have a more ranged class. So you won't be so straightforward as the rogue class, but we will also have the combo system. And we thought about giving the R6G6L, welcome. So basically we thought of giving her a proper timing. So we basically just put it, for example, a counter system that allows her, for example, in the middle of the attacks, she can basically from that timing that she's basically vulnerable, she can still riposte the enemies. So there will be a nice feature, a little bit inspired by Bayonetta, of course. And we are giving a proper thinking about how can we approach the combat in a different way than the usual settings that we see. Not just a combo or not just a combat, but a way to make the proper dodgings on time to be more fluid, and basically to give more basically to give a more combat system to be more fun than the usual it is, because maybe sometimes can be repetitive, and we don't want that. We just want a fluid thing, and the player can feel that he's in controlling of the character, and we basically want that. We want the player to feel that he's properly dodging that the AI isn't simply a machine that attacks you, and is also you can actually counter it, and the AI as also a thinking. So yeah, I think in the terms of combat, we're trying a different approach to that. So we're actually working on the timings of that. So yeah, basically, I think we're trying to grab the part that she's the most vulnerable, and also putting that on the animations, of course, because we're talking about frames there. And yeah, we have the same character for different classes and female-only characters. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, we will have only one character. It will be Faith, and you can play Faith as 3 different classes. So it will be Rogue, Gunner, and Hacker, and you can explore Faith in those 3 different classes. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear me better now or not. Oh, it is. Is it better now? Is it better now or not? Okay. Can you say if it is okay? Okay. Welcome as well. So yeah, basically we'll have Faith playing as the Rogue class, as the Gunner class, and also as the Hacker class. So let's talk, because I already focused too much on the Rogue class, that it will be focused on timing and also dodging. So let's move forward to Gunner. So what can I say about Gunner? It'll also have a combo system as well. So you can see the combo system, of course, and you can actually do many good combos with weapons. And we will trying to give probably a mix of it, maybe combining not just weapons but also melee weapons and of course guns. So maybe we can do that little approach on Gunner, even though Gunner is just a guns only, let's say, class, but we can try to mix that up just to give a little bit of other feel. And we can also talk about slides that will probably will allow the player to, for example, slide a wall and slow motion the time. We can also, for example, I don't know, having some kind of skill that allows the player to control the bullet direction. There will be a nice touch to it, so instead of just firing it up, you can also control the bullet if you had a skill. So we're kind of giving your approach to that to Gunner. And also, yeah, it's basically it. So trying to get the movement as free as possible to get the most out of it of Gunner. So it's basically it from Gunner. So I focused on Gunner and Rogue, and now it's finally to get to the Hacker. And yeah, the Hacker will be basically a mixed class, and the Hacker will basically allows, for example, to hack the enemies and to give them it will allow you to know if their next attack, or even though you can know their next talk as well. So it's a really, really special class, and we introduce it to kind of not feeling that you're just straightforward classes, just as Gunner and Rogue, and so it's like a mixed class. And also Hacker will be the only class that is available to like synchronize the map. So if you are trying to, for example, see the entire map, Hacker will be the only way to discover the entire map. Or if you don't have Hacker, you probably just have to took an item and you probably just have to constantly check up the map, because it is a feature from Hacker that only Hacker can synchronize parts of the map and of Tokyo in this case. And it'll be the only class that will have the ability to basically uncover the map from the districts and from also the Tokyo city. So we're basically grabbing on Tokyo and trying to give it a futuristic look. So we're basically just grabbing some images, trying to, well, they are, if you give them proper because maybe it allows you to use that class, because it not just sounds fun, but also it encourages you to use that class because it has that feature. So I think if you, for example, separate the classes, you basically just do this. So I'm playing with Rogue, that's nice. So I want a more straightforward, let's go with Rogue. Oh, maybe I just want to go hacking something, or maybe I just want to know the next attacks, or maybe I just want to go to know more about the world. I think that will only be possible with Hacker, because I don't think there is another way to make the Hacker special, since there is many ways to approach the Hacker class, but for now we are trying to give him like a special feel of like uncovering the map, see things that the other classes don't see, and I think that's probably the best way to uncover that, because it is, I'm not sure if we give the option to the other classes, see what Hacker does, maybe Hacker won't be that special. So that's why I'm giving the only option for now to Hacker has that feature, but maybe, who knows, on the future everything is subject to change. So let's see what it goes. But talking about the world, what can I say? So grabbing on Tokyo, making feel a little more futuristic, where basically robots are destroyed, a lot of them. They are dispensable. We have a lot of cyberware on the streets. We have also the Neo Corporation. That is the main corporation of this game, is Neo, and this corporation is actually on Tokyo. And basically this corporation is responsible for making many robots in series, and so basically our protagonists will went out of that, basically ran away of Neo, and will search throughout the whole game for identity. So she's basically let's just say we don't want her to be like total robot, because that'll be very artificial. So let's give him some emotional background as well. So let's try to say the player that she has a heart as well. She can feel as well. So throughout the game we will see that she'll become more human. She'll start questioning who she is and why she's there, and where did she came from. So basically questions like that. So it will be a nice touch, because I think that's the only way to give the player that he can really understand the character, and it can basically just let's say identifies. So I think that's a really nice way to give the player the feel that it is actually playing as her, and it is not just a game. So speaking about the districts, it will be very very similar to the actual Tokyo. So expect Shibuya, expect the other districts similar, because we were basically just grabbing on Tokyo and giving a futurist look. About the whole game, we will also have bosses. So in each district, we will try to make the bosses fit each district. So we will try to think on many ways to fit the district with the boss and like incorporate the bosses with the story. So we will have like bosses that have like sounds, like can also have other bosses that try to yeah, District 9, why not? And yeah, basically just giving the feel that it's an RPG. It has levels. Maybe I wanted to incorporate something after she defeated the boss to know that she basically killed the boss, but how does that affect on the story? Like you killed the boss, but yeah, what happened now? So what did you did, and what, for example, consequences does she have on the gameplay as well? So yeah, it's basically that thing. Other thing that you can also expect is a fluid level system. You can also toggle in and off the levels, so the player cannot know straight away the levels. We're thinking on that. Maybe it is a feature or maybe not. We can also toggle maybe if you can see the health bar or not. So the UI is a pretty good thing and is a good thing to messing around. Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about the world and how do we approach it. We'll basically we have like persons, or like we usually say NPCs. There you can usually interact. A few main NPCs, of course. The enemies, and probably the enemies can be more aggressive depending on the district. So if you are in the Shibuya district, which is basically, I intend to make the streets like the tester. Well, when we think on Cyberpunk, we think on tons of purple. We think tons of, for example, blues. So it's basically you have really to go to a tone dark. So it's basically if you don't want to go for a tone dark, it's not Cyberpunk, because it is a really dystopian future. So you want them to be as dark as possible and as aggressive as possible. So everything should be dark, everything should be aggressive, everyone should be seeing as an enemy even. So yeah, I think that's the best approach to it. So about the colors you'll proceed, I think depending on the district it depends on the colors, but on the overall the dark colors will be like the main thing, because yeah, for example, Shibuya is like it's like a district for buying things and having connecting with people. So probably don't see as much on Shibuya as you see it, but some on other districts we can put it more dark, and for example even on another corners we can put it like, for example, two persons beating each other, or I don't know, enemies fighting each other, and you basically just go to there and okay, the boss can have some effect on her, like in Shadow of the Colossus, the main character, aside from the evil from the bosses in the The thing is, how can she absorb, for example? Because when we're talking about Cyberpunk, we're actually talking about cyberware, we're talking about like a dark humid street. Yeah, of course, and that's the main thing, because it wouldn't be a city if you weren't like just sun, of course. So I'm also thinking on the weather. So the weather couldn't be simple. The weather should be on the most of the time foggy and also rainy. So we don't want always the sun. We want more also dark weather. So it will basically just give emphasis to the dark and mysterious dystopian city of Tokyo. So yeah, it is many things that we can put to give emphasis to the city, but I think on the overall we should give him a dark tone and a dark mood, because that's the best approach. And as far as I know, when you think about Cyberpunk, it's really, really aggressive. So yeah, we should basically just mess up with colors like purple, like I'm not saying, but basically blues, dark blues, also grays, but grays doesn't have that impact because gives a different mood from little bit, but a little sunnier and stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it depends a little. It depends on the district. It depends on how much we are progressing in the story. So yeah, it has a lot of different conditions and factors. So yeah, neons, exactly. So speaking another, so we're kind of giving also an approach like a disease. So that should be we will kind of explain why people are beating each other and why people are aggressive with each other. So kind of thinking on implementing like a disease that basically started on many years ago before the game starts, and will basically just make a revolution throughout the whole Tokyo city. And basically we would see like people with the disease fighting with people without the disease to like getting money and rob from them, and also giving that aggressive mood, because I think that what happens in the world when people are really desperate. So we basically, if we have people with a disease and they are desperate for money, they are desperate for getting things from other, they are aggressive, they are moody, they are all kind of that. So I think we will basically just establish a disease that happened and that caught most, let's say maybe one third of the Tokyo population, and we'll basically just see the enemies. For example, like people that are diseased fighting against you and really aggressive with you because they didn't they need money and they need to rob from you. So basically that's kind of explanation that we can kind of give from now from the enemies. Yeah, kind of similar to what's going on in the world, and we can see the people desperate for it. And yeah, what can I say more? I don't know if subway will be a thing, even though we'll have subways, but I'm not sure if you will have the chance to actually use it. We'll have also bus, we'll have cars, and the only way to, for now, going through the game, it's by a bike, as much as we know. So yeah, I think the only reason to the only transport to go through the city for now is from a bike. So yeah, it's basically for now the only transport that we are committed to do. And we also wanted to give a feel like even though you can't use the transports, throughout the story you can actually go on them. So for example, we're actually thinking on putting like a subway train, and you go through there from district to another district, because you basically use trains to move from one place to another. And there would be like a nice way, or let's see, a fastest way to go from district to district. So there will be a nice approach to the city, instead of just going like from back to another district like throughout the story. And I'm just thinking on maybe fast travel, like, I don't know, like implementing something. But yeah, maybe if you wouldn't use the transports on, if you don't use the transports at the beginning, or you can use them throughout the game, you'll probably be using them throughout the history. So yeah, we're kind of thinking on that, and also thinking on the districts. Let's see, a nice way to put some hidden messages, some because maybe in each district, exactly, that's nice. It also depends on map size, precisely. It depends on the map size and how big is the world. So yeah, we're actually thinking on that, but for now we're focusing on the mechanics, and we're focusing on how the main protagonist goes throughout the world, and how fluid she is, how can she fit the world nicely, because if he doesn't fit, we're probably just going back and think again on what ways can we make to make the world more believable and make the story more precise, because I think not just the story, but it also has to fit the world, not something just thrown away, but yeah, it also has a story behind it. I think that's the main core of it, and I think the players will love if they have a story to tell. So yeah, I think that's the best approach to this game, basically. And yeah, basically we also have let's see, we also have some main characters that we're actually thinking. We also have the probably a guy that will help her on the district. So basically, probably she would have a partner or not. She will also have basically we're thinking about a robot. So she'll basically have throughout the world a robot to see things, and not only just, I think we are not meant to put something like, for example, lands. So she won't be able to have lands, but she'll basically be able to use the robot in advantages to some points. For example, scanning the enemy and reaching the weakest points. So yeah, I think it's not only a nice thing to go with, but also a good way to approach the enemies. It's not just straightforward, but you also have your robot that scans the enemies, and it actually saves the weak points. That will be a nice approach to it. It's not just a pet, but the usual like a pet, there would be something like they actually do something. And maybe in the future also upgrade that robot in your advantage. And then yeah, basically it's that. I think there is for now nothing more. We can also say that I think maybe the main antagonist, if for now it will be one, will be the president of the corporation, of the NEO corporation, and will be basically chasing her throughout the game. So basically the president of the Neo Corporation will chase Faith until she dies, and she's basically have to fight them in order to survive. And imagine surviving in this cruel world, and brutal and aggressive, all that adjectives that can be brutal to the Tokyo city. So yeah, basically she'll fight against the Neo Corporation, and eventually she will be able to reach her identity and see who it is. And and we're trying to give a meaning, not just putting there, actually giving a meaning to that, because despite a really great built world, we also need a great story that not only the world is well built, but also the story. Well, that's a good question. We're still thinking on the backstory, you know. We don't know where she came yet. We just only know that she will be revealing her identity throughout the game. And if I said it now, for I'm thinking, it probably wouldn't be a surprise. But all can I say is that somehow, for what I'm thinking right now, she'll be kind of related to that corporation, and that corporation has a huge influence to Tokyo. So yeah, I think she has a lot more influence than she knows. So yeah, I think that's the main reason she's in the game, and basically why she's there, and she's the main character, because she's really have a great influence. So yeah, I'm just saying that she'll discover about her parents in some point of the game. No, I'm not, because it's subject to change. And yeah, I'm not saying anything because can be subject to change, and I'm not sure if we'll still follow with that. It depends. Yeah, she has a good background of story. We'll basically just have ton of enemies to defeat with. We have everything a normal RPG has. We will have inventory, we will have levels, we will have our partner, as I said, the robot. We will have the skills, the ability tree, that's for sure. That's something that we already confirmed. Yeah, that's basically it. We'll have mostly everything that an RPG is, and we're trying to implement something new on the combat and also the story. So that's the best I can say. And yeah, we're pretty looking forward to the combat. We don't want just something that it's not fun and it's just repetitive. So let's hope that we're focused for now on the mechanics, and we really focus on the story, and then we can have a great experience while prototyping the game and actually playing it. Because if we don't have the story, if we don't have the mechanics, we don't have the great world as we want. Even though it could be the best world ever built, but if you don't have the story and the mechanics, for sure it won't be a nice game. So yeah, I think we're looking really forward to that. And yeah, that's the main thing. So rogue, hacker, and gunner, that's the 3 classes. There's only one main character. You can create your character, you just play as Faith, and you can choose your path or your class as you want to talk. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I've already talked pretty much about the whole thing that we have so far. And yeah, for now I think we're just getting updated on Twitter, going updated by concept art, updated by story. We have some prototypes. We just have a few prototype yet for now, for something for someone to actually play with. We actually want to give her a pretty nice touch as well. There's something I really wanted to still mention, that is, we also had an idea. So the katana would be implemented on her arm and basically would have a non-lethal form and a lethal form. So we will basically would have let's say a boomerang, and that boomerang mode would be non-lethal and would give stun to the enemy. And we'll also have the katana mode that of course would be very lethal and basically slash the enemies and cut them pieces away. And yeah, basically we were trying to figure out a form that will basically not having a katana, probably not having the katana on her back but on her arm, because we're talking about modifications, cyber modifications, yeah, and like a nice way to incorporate the katana on her body. And even though we were actually thinking on like saving the game by charging the faithos, so we'll actually have the percentage of her charging it. And yeah, I think there will be a nice way to go with the katana. We're still thinking on that, but yeah, I think for now we're just sticking to the non-lethal and lethal mode, so expect more news soon. Of course, the cooldown and hitboxes. Too much stun, exactly, easy battle. We're hoping that this will work. If it doesn't work, we'll think on other ways to incorporate the katana. But yeah, for now I think we're done for it. We're keeping updated on social media. Actually, I want to mention we have a Patreon, and if you want to donate something, there is Patreon down below with a link if you want to. If you donate, let's actually say that you can enter the server and you can actually have some news ahead. And we actually also have sooner, because I think it's still early, social media for the game. But yeah, for now we have our Patreon if you want to donate and see the news, see the prototype. And yeah, I think I'm going for now. Thank you for watching. I think it was pretty nice having you here and basically share with you what we have so far. Maybe, I'm not sure if we basically just can we can basically sometimes show some concept arts, and yeah, looking forward to give you feedback from the world, to see if it is from your expectations or not. Actually some feedback from you, and yeah, see you later guys, and stay safe.